Sit down with Michelle Bender. Michelle is a great friend to the Ocean Race and was one of the visionaries to introduce the idea of ocean rights to global policy. Michelle is currently serving as a consultant with the Earth Law Center and Ocean Vision Legal, as well as a member of the IUCN's World Commission on Environmental Law and an advisory board member for the Global Alliance for the Rights of Nature. She founded and created the Ocean Rights Framework in 2017, aiming to address a significant gap in the rights of nature movement and global ocean governance. The Ocean Race provides a platform, but as a US-based NGO, Earth Law Center, and especially Michelle and her colleagues like Rachel and so many others, are the brains behind the principles. They've done an immense amount of work on the actual draft principles of the Universal Declaration of Ocean Rights. Please welcome Michelle. Now I'm just going to make my way around because we are chatting. Here we go. Perfect. All right. So, of course, thank you again, Michelle, for being here and for all the work that you've done so far in ocean rights. And you've been working on this for a number of years. And the principles that you put together with your team, tell us about that and also your personal work. Like, why did you choose to start working on this concept?
Yep. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Danny, and all of you esteemed guests for joining us today. I've been working in the rights and nature space for almost 8 years now, but as you noted, 2017 was really a pivotal year. That was the year that Te Awa Tupua Act was passed in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and the Wanganui River was recognized as a legal person, becoming the first river in the world. And since then, the movement has really erupted. Nature as a whole, rivers, national parks, they're being recognized as legal persons or legal entities subjects of rights. But despite there being over 200 laws, policies, judicial decisions in almost 40 countries recognizing the rights of nature, only about 5% of those are specific to a marine ecosystem or a species. So that left me asking myself, where was the ocean in this conversation and what are we waiting for? So I made it my goal to explore and advocate for what the rights of nature framework could look like within the ocean policy seascape. Now, the paradigm shift we need is first and foremost increased awareness and education on how vital the ocean is to all of our lives, regardless if we live on the coast or hundreds of miles inland. The ocean sustains all life on the planet, and human well-being is inextricably linked with the health of the ocean. Increased awareness can help achieve the important value shift that is needed. The saying that we only protect what we love is very true, especially in the ocean governance discourse. How we value the ocean directly influences how decisions are made, how effective laws will be, and who those laws benefit. Therefore, worldviews must change, from viewing the ocean as a limitless resource to understanding the ocean is finite, a living being with intrinsic value, worthy of protection and respect, regardless of the benefit and utility to society. And you'll see on the screen behind us just a brief mention of the principles that you've heard mentioned today. And this foundational text was created through a process throughout the last 2 years, consulting with over 150 stakeholders from all backgrounds and expertise to really understand what is our relationship with the ocean and what do we want to do about that relationship. And their application, they might look familiar, but they're applied within a different lens, a lens from the ocean's perspective.
Excellent, Michelle. So, here we go. Thank you, Michelle. Now, you mentioned a little bit about value shift and a paradigm shift. Can you tell us why this work is important? I think we've covered a lot of that through our speeches tonight, but when you talk about ocean policies and laws that are currently in place, how will that shift things around?
Yeah, so Universal Declaration of Ocean Rights, or UDOR as I'll call it going forward, will set forth a bold vision in global ocean governance. It would declare that the ocean has an inherent right to exist, ecological integrity, natural climate, restoration and regeneration. And it would assert that we as stewards of the ocean have an ethical obligation to safeguard ocean health and biodiversity for current and future generations of all life on the planet, not just humankind. Ocean rights or rights of nature does not mean that nature becomes intangible or we cannot touch it. but rather as a subject of rights, the ocean's scope of protection becomes amplified. Similar to what we've seen with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, it would provide a legal foundation for ocean protection, enabling nations to align their laws under a common set of principles and understandings. This would provide consistency and coherence across all ocean-related agendas, which, as we know, currently exist in a patchwork of regional and sectoral regulations and standards. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea already sets the stage here, but a UDOR can both improve and effectively guide the implementation of our obligation to protect and preserve the marine environment. Ocean rights calls for the inclusion of diverse value systems, knowledge, and science. We heard yesterday at the SDG zone that the Maori people consider the great whales as their ancestors and are calling for legal personhood designation. A recent study also estimates that a conservative economic value of a living whale is around $2 million US. Just those two value systems together lend support for 100% protection for whales and their habitat. Additionally, recognizing and respecting the intrinsic value of the ocean, such a value that is so immense we couldn't possibly put a dollar sign on, can help us branch away from the current traditional economic valuations of the impact of human activity. These methods, they rarely include externalities, future generations, and the costs and benefits to other species and habitats. Finally, ocean rights requires us to think like the ocean. What does she need to be healthy and thriving? So whether you are on a fishery management council, creating an MPA, or running a business like the Ocean Race, the ocean is there and represented in decisions and disputes affecting her health. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for your expertise. And if anyone's interested and wants to know more about this work, feel free to send an email to the emails above, and we hope to hear from you. So thank you, Michelle.